Diane Setterfield's novel, The 13th Tale, was published in 2006 by Emily Bessler Books Washington Square Press. Remarkably, the book ascended to the top spot on the New York Times bestseller list merely 1 week after its release and garnered the prestigious Quill Award for Debut Author of the Year. Setterfield, a former academic specializing in 20th century French literature, transitioned to become a celebrated author. Following her debut work, she has published 2 additional books, Bellman Black in 2013 and, most recently, Once Upon a River in 2018. In 2013, The 13th Tale received a television adaptation and was broadcast by the BBC, featuring the talented Vanessa Redgrave and Olivia Colman. The narrative revolves around Margaret Lea, an amateur biographer based in London, who works at her father's rare bookshop. Her life takes an unexpected turn when she receives a letter from Vida Winter, one of England's most renowned authors, requesting Margaret's presence to record her biography. Vida, notorious for her secretive nature and tendency to fabricate stories about her past, intrigues Margaret. She travels to Vida's Yorkshire residence and reluctantly agrees to the task, but only after Vida provides 3 verifiable truths as a pledge of honesty. Vida commences her story with a character named Isabelle. When Isabelle's mother tragically dies during childbirth, her grief-stricken father withdraws from the world, leaving the household under Isabelle's dominion. Her brother, Charlie, initially terrorizes the staff, but Isabelle's intervention leads to a close bond between them. However, as Isabelle matures, her affections shift towards a neighbor boy named Roland March. During that summer, Isabelle spends her days with Roland, and their love blossoms. However, when autumn arrives, Isabelle leaves Angel Field. The following spring, she returns with twin daughters, Emmeline and Adeline, born from her marriage to Roland, who tragically died from pneumonia. Entrusting the care of her daughters to the housekeeper known as the Mrs. and the gardener John Digence, Isabelle departs once more. Unfortunately, as the twins grow up, they receive little guidance. A troubling incident involving the twins stealing a perambulator with a baby inside prompts a visit from the local doctor's wife. During this visit, Isabelle violently attacks her, leading to her subsequent confinement in a psychiatric care facility. Left without their mother, Charlie, consumed by grief, withdraws into himself. Margaret continues to transcribe Vida's story in installments, returning to London to conduct research. While there, she confirms the veracity of Vida's tale, discovering that Charlie vanished and was legally declared deceased. Margaret then journeys to the ruins of Angel Field, where she encounters Aurelius Love, a man who has always felt a connection to the estate. Upon returning to Vida's residence, Margaret and Vida resume the storytelling. The narrative introduces Hester Barrow, a governess hired to oversee the twins. Hester notices a young boy in the garden and questions the gardener, who feigns ignorance about the child. Hester, along with Dr. Maudsley, the local physician, decides to separate the twins to observe their development independently. Emmeline gradually forms her own identity, while Adeline becomes entirely passive. One day, as Hester heads to the doctor's house, she glimpses the twins playing together, convinced that Adeline has somehow escaped. However, upon her arrival at the doctor's, she finds Adeline seated with him, leaving her believing she has witnessed a ghost. An unexpected moment between Hester and Dr. Maudsley transpires as he kisses her. When his wife discovers their encounter, she promptly sends Hester and Adeline back to Angel Field, reuniting the twins. Shortly after Hester's departure, they receive a letter from the psychiatric care facility, bearing the news of Isabelle's death. Charlie goes missing, and his lifeless body is eventually discovered. Margaret returns to Angel Field, where she reconnects with Aurelius. He confides in her, revealing that he was abandoned as a baby and taken in by Mrs. Love. One night, while exploring the garden, Margaret stumbles upon Emmeline, who is still alive and residing in Vida's house. Emmeline utters cryptic words in the secret language the twins had developed, leaving Margaret perplexed. As Margaret delves deeper into Vida's narrative, she becomes emotionally overwhelmed, neglecting her own well-being and falling ill, marked by fever and visions. Following her recovery, she departs for Christmas, and Vida presents her with Hester's diary. While reading it on the train, Margaret is compelled to return to Angel Field to uncover Hester's fate. After completing Hester's diary, Margaret unravels the enigma of Angel Field. She discerns that there were 3 girls living there, not 2. Vida, the result of Charlie's assault on a local woman, was the third child. Found by John and the missus in the garden, Vida lived secretly at Angel Field for years. Emmeline gave birth to a baby, but Adeline's jealousy led her to attempt to harm the infant. Consequently, Vida left the baby, Aurelius, on Mrs. Love's doorstep. Upon her return to Angel Field, she found the library engulfed in flames and the twins in a fierce altercation. Vida believes she rescued Emmeline from the fire, although she remains uncertain about which twin she saved. Vida's striking resemblance to Adeline led everyone to assume she was Adeline, and she willingly assumed her identity. Upon concluding her tale, Vida passes away. Margaret chooses not to publish Vida's biography, and as a parting gift, Vida bestows upon her a copy of the notorious 13th Tale. I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave a like if you did and be sure to subscribe. Thank you.